What's going on, everybody?
Happy Easter, everyone!
Welcome to our King's Youth YouTube channel.
We're so glad you're here. How are you guys doing? How are you coroning? How are you doing, Ron? Yeah, man, these are weird times. As an extrovert, I'm kind of struggling right now because I'm not as close to Ron, but we are 6 feet apart.
Sorry, I put a little bit too much on and it's just not going in, so just, Alright, we're good.
Hope you guys are coroning well. We are 6 feet apart, Ron.
I even brought this handy dandy thing to double check.
Let's check. Let's check. Make sure.
We're good.
We're good.
This is actually a little longer than 6 feet, so there's that. Oh my
Is that like 8? Like how high is that?
It's probably closer to 7 feet.
Is it?
Like, that's pretty tall.
And it's pretty tall.
Anyway.
Well, happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter.
This week is Easter. Do you love Easter?
I love Easter.
Yeah?
How about you?
What do you love? I love Easter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jesus is risen. But I also love Easter because of the food.
Dude.
The food is right.
The Easter feast is the best.
Oh, the Easter feast is what's up. Now, I was raised where Easter is almost as big as Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
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 Did you receive gifts for Easter, or did you just receive food?
Yep. Gifts. Like when I was younger, my parents would actually hid eggs around the house, so we searched.
Yeah.
And then we also had our own basket filled with like candy
Oh my god.
and all that stuff, man. Like they went all out.
Well, you know what I love about Easter? I love ham.
Mm.
Oh baby, ham is so good.
I gotta be honest, turkey is way better than ham.
What?
What?
Like ham.
Ron, stop.
If we're talking about
Stop.
meat, ham is at the very bottom.
Whoa! You are in error. You are false. You are a heretic. How dare you say that?
Ham is the worst meat ever.
No! No!
Ron, I'm about to beat you up.
You think we're 6 feet?
Okay, first of all, you're wrong. Okay, turkeys are fat animals. Okay, pigs are skinny animals.
Did you just call a pig skinny?
Oh man, a pig is probably the skinniest animal alive.
When you think of fat, usually people call them a pig,
No,
not a turkey.
no, when people say you are fat, they call them a turkey. You're fat turkey. You fat turkey. You fat turkey.
Pretty sure they call them a pig.
Nah,
Or a
man,
cow.
pigs are the best. Bacon, ham, pork belly, pork loin, pork stomach, whatever you all
Okay,
eat.
bacon and pork, yes, but I'm talking about like ham itself.
Yes.
Like it's so rubbery. Like I'd rather eat dry.
Rubbery?
I'd rather eat dry.
Who
rub.
cooks ham for you, Ron? Who makes their ham rubbery?
It just doesn't taste good.
Oh no, it's amazing. It's like seasoned with brown sugar and maple. I love ham. Maybe below in the comments, tell us, are you team turkey or are you team ham?
Yeah, and just so you know, if you pick Team Ham, then you are against me.
And if you pick team turkey, let's just say you don't want to be against me.
So pick turkey because it is definitely.
I'm kind of kidding.
What else would you have besides disgusting ham?
I would have potato scallops. Have you heard of that?
Yep. So we actually do stuffing too with the turkey.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that is probably the best thing ever. Is
Now,
stuffing.
do you stuff the turkey with the stuffing?
Yeah.
that
I
weird?
don't personally do it.
Is that weird?
I don't do it, but
I find it's a little weird. Well, to each their own, Ron. To each their own. Is there any like Easter stories or like memories that you have? Some like pretty cool memories?
growing up, my grandparents, mostly my grandma, she would like do an amazing Easter hunt for all the grandkids. There's only 6 of us grandkids.
That's killer.
When I was actually younger, there was fewer because I'm one of the oldest grandkids of my mom.
Oh, that's nice.
So, oh wow, that's not. Oh sweet, I don't care at all. No, but she'd like hide eggs all over her yard. We'd have like specialty eggs just for us if we found her name on it.
Wow, that's awesome.
So my grandma was a saint. She was the best.
That's great. That's awesome.
Thanks, Grandma.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, we would have like Easter egg hunt, and we were pretty like extreme. We'd fight. We'd go in. We'd go after it.
Do you still do Easter egg hunts, like with your kids and stuff?
No, because they're like super tiny.
Okay.
And my son's 9, so he's like, oh, I just want all the eggs now. So it's like,
So here's the thing. I thought I was done with Easter egg hunts, but Megan, my wife, her family still does like.
She's probably extreme.
They still hide candy.
Oh, wow.
We're all sitting on the stairs,
Yeah.
getting ready for this Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
And obviously, niece and nephew, they're like 2 and 4, they get to go first and whatever.
Yeah.
And then it goes like from youngest to oldest. I'm 25 and my wife's 27, and we're still hunting Easter eggs around the house. And of course, like we do it as a couple.
Yeah.
And so it's me, my brother and sister-in-law, my other
That's right.
brother and sister-in-law, my niece and nephew, my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
And Megan and I always find the most eggs because we're the best. Speaking of like Easter and candy, what's your favorite Easter candy?
Okay, favorite Easter egg candy is the Reese's eggs.
Those are good.
You know those eggs? Not the eggs that are shaped pretty much like a full egg, but the eggs that they're like shaped in like an egg
Okay.
shape. I was actually drooling thinking about it. It's a little drool. Oh gosh.
Oh no.
Just came out.
Peeps. Maybe not anymore, but growing up, Peeps were my favorite. I mean, I'd get like the pack of like 12 of them and just eat them all, like the marshmallow and sugar on it. It's like there's nothing healthy about it.
No.
But I mean, I would just.
Yeah.
Now it's definitely probably mini eggs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can find them year round. So.
Maybe below, just say real quick, what's your favorite Easter candy?
So this week we asked you to, send us some videos of you pranking people.
You see that so nonchalantly. Pranking people.
Anyway, we didn't get too many, but we did get a few, and we did have one winner, and we do have a video of us sending this to them. And don't worry, throughout this entire video, we tried our hardest to be 6 feet apart. So
Yeah.
Here you go. Watch this.
Watch this video. All right, friends, we're about to pick up Ron. So we're gonna practice the 6 feet rule. So here we go. Are you good, Ron?
6 feet apart.
All right, friends, we're off. We're off to drop off the prize. And we're off to the, what store?
Superstore.
Let's go.
Gotta get some mini eggs. Who would you say your favorite artist is, Bradford?
Right now?
Yeah, like your favorite singer, artist.
Is it Christian or like?
Doesn't matter.
Favorite artist, probably of all time, that breaks through like generational barrier would be Earth, Wind, and Fire. And then currently it would be, probably Dua Lipa.
Really?
I'm kidding.
For me, it's City and Color.
I love Rascal Flatts.
No.
Yes.
No.
What's their song? I love Rascal Flatts.
Life is a highway.
I'm gonna ride it all night long. And then they have a song that's like, the song that they sing with Bieber?
When I was younger, when Biebs was all about like the whole baby, baby, baby and all that stuff, right? I could not get into that Biebs, but Biebs now, we backing in.
Yeah, I'm gonna back in this joint. Think so. I guess so.
When we were trying to buy the mini eggs, I was trying to scan them and one of them wouldn't scan. It was like pinched on the barcode, but apparently I went full Hulk, and when I went to try to fix it, the whole thing burst open, there was mini eggs everywhere. So
it was awesome.
So that
it
was
was embarrassing. No one really wanted to be around us or help us, so
yeah,
we had
no
to.
one thought it was funny except for us.
Here we go, y'all. We just dropped off the prize. Hopefully. Hey! You won! Woo! Congratulations, Rachel. It's all sanitized, it's all yours, and it's nice and chocolatey. Happy Easter. Bye, Moors.
She was very excited to get that.
Yeah.
Do that again.
My kids love when I do that for some reason.
I can't do this on you again. Sorry, you're supposed to turn right here.
Oh, yeah, I'm not from around here, so I don't know all the
Frick, I got
back
myself
roads.
stuck again.
I will wave at someone until they wave back at me.
Can we just wave at everybody that we passed?
People who don't wave back are mean. I had enough courtesy to like wave, you know what I mean?
You're putting yourself
And
on?
they don't wave back.
Oh, no, it's even more awkward when someone waves at you. You think it's you, but it's really the person behind you.
Really?
You've never had that happen to you?
Never had that happen.
So you wave back, and it's like, oh, you weren't even waving at me, you were waving at someone else.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's
not
right. So it's really awkward. It's like a double rejection. Well, happy Easter, Rachel. You're the best. Hope you enjoy your candy.
I'm struggling with this seatbelt.
Are you okay?
It's like, I can't move. I need an adult. Car just stuck. Wait. Nope. Right, we're set. I got it.
Well, congratulations, Rachel.
Yes,
Hope you
congrats.
enjoy your eggs. Enjoy them. Happy Easter. And thanks for scaring your little brother.
Yeah.
That was enjoyable to watch. Poor kid, eh? That's probably not the first time.
No. When you're that close in age and you have siblings, you're always trolling your family, right?
Yeah.
But we do have a challenge this week.
We do. What's the challenge, Ron?
Our challenge this week is obviously it's gonna be about Easter, right? So decorating the best Easter egg. Whether it's a real Easter egg, you can decorate a real Easter egg. I don't know if people still do that. I did it all the time when I was a kid, you know, with the dyes and trying to make it look fancy with the special pencil that you could add lines and stuff.
Yeah.
So that, or if you want to just grab an egg and paint it, or if you want to grab like a fake, there's something gross on this egg.
Make sure you drain that egg yolk.
Yes.
Because I've tried to do that before.
I suck at doing that.
I tried to like paint it while the egg was full.
Or hard boil it.
Or hard boil it, but that is true.
Yeah, so you can paint like a Easter egg like this, or you know, an actual egg, paint it, or dye it, whatever you want to do. Send us the picture of your Easter egg, and we'll pick the best one.
Yeah. Ron, I love the Easter week season, not just because of the chocolate, but also it reminds me of the person of Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we celebrate this whole thing.
That's why we celebrate Easter, right? Easter is really not about chocolate eggs and candy, but it's about celebrating the resurrection of Jesus and the validation of my faith because he's alive.
Yeah.
He's risen.
If it weren't for the resurrection,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have a reason to have faith, I think.
No.
The resurrection validates every single thing that we believe about Jesus
100%.
and his divinity and
100%.
God's love for this world, right?
And Paul actually speaks to that. Paul says our faith would be dead if Jesus did not resurrect.
Yep.
And I think it's a great time to remind ourselves of who is mighty and who is powerful, especially in a time like this where it seems like God is not in control. And I think in that season when Jesus died, that was a season where it seemed like God was not in control. He died and people were mourning, and it didn't seem like Jesus had power. But then 3 days later, he rose again. He showed to the world and to the kingdom that he is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And I think that's so perfect to tie into what Ron is about to speak to tonight about why Jesus. And so we're excited to hear from Ron.
Yeah, so catch this. We'll see you after.
Watch this.
How many of you have ever lost control of something? Now, I'm not talking about like when you were 2 and you had a temper tantrum and you lost your temper and all that stuff. I'm talking about something where you thought you had control over, but turns out you didn't. I remember one time when I was a kid, probably in middle school, we had a go-kart. Like, our family had a go-kart. It was some janky thing that my brother fixed up, and it was really fun. It was fun to drive around. I usually just went down the road and back. I mean, I was in middle school. I probably shouldn't have been in it, but I remember one time I wanted to see how fast it could go, and this thing could go fast. So I went down the road and I go to turn, but I didn't realize how fast I was going when I was turning. And instead of turning around and coming back down the road, I actually turned and crashed right into this guy's metal fence. And next thing I know, my tire is completely into this fence. The fence is bent at the bottom. My dad and his friend are coming to run to make sure I'm okay, which I was. The go-kart was okay too, but in that moment I realized that I had no control over this thing. It was gonna go right into the fence and I couldn't do anything about it. Have you guys ever experienced anything like that? Maybe it's when you were driving your go-kart, or when you were practicing driving for your driver's test, or maybe when you're riding your bike, or anything that you could think you have control over when it comes to it, but you really don't. You find out that I'm losing complete control, and the only thing I can do here is just say, Oh well. I find for everyone in general that we like to have control of things. We don't like to leave the outcomes of things to other people or other instances. Now let me put it this way. Are there things in your life that you wish you can control? Now I'm not talking about, losing control of a go-kart, but I'm talking about like situations in your life where you wish you could know what the outcome is, you could decide what the outcome is, and everything would be okay. Maybe it's how that conversation will go when you're talking to someone that you think is cute. Maybe they'll like you back, maybe not. Maybe it's what you're gonna get for your birthday and you really want to control that outcome. I know I would sometimes. Maybe it's what your parents are gonna say when you ask them if you can go somewhere or do something. Whatever it is, I think there are things in our life that we wish we could have complete control over. Where we're gonna go after we're done with school, what's college gonna look like, what's our family gonna look like when we get older, the things that we would like to do, like to buy, all these things, our job, what's that gonna look like? I mean, maybe some of you aren't thinking about that yet, but there's tons of things that we wish we could control, but we simply can't. And a lot of times, there are things that come up in your life where something you thought was going to happen doesn't end up happening, and you really wish you could control that outcome. Maybe it is that test. Maybe you wish you could control the grade that the teacher is going to give you. Maybe it is how that project goes and what the teacher thinks of that project. Maybe it's what your parents are gonna get you for dinner. Maybe you really want them to get McDonald's for you every day, which would kind of be awesome, but would also be very unhealthy, so maybe not. But there are things that we wish that we could control the outcome of. Maybe it's other things like, okay, I don't have school anymore, but what's that gonna look like for next year? Am I gonna be behind? Am I gonna have to try my hardest to get caught up? Who knows what that's gonna look like, right? That's something that's completely out of our control. The truth of life is, we can't control everything. As much as we like to, as much as we like to have things that we're able to determine how it's gonna end up, we can't have complete control over everything. This is the thing that people have been worried about for ages. In fact, we try so hard to make sure we can control everything. I mean, we have home assistants, we have things that we can just control from our phones, like our garage door, our lights, all these things, and we can control them at any moment. We could just tell Google to do something and she'll do it. We like to have control, and we just want to put out anything that will determine if we have control or not. So that begs the question, what do we do when we don't have control over things? When we get to those points in life where we wish we had control, but we realize that we absolutely don't, that we can't decide how this is gonna end up, that we can't decide what this is gonna look like when my parents split up, or when I get back to school next year, or when me and my friend are done having this argument. We can't decide what's gonna come out of those things. We can't decide what our life is gonna look like afterwards. What is it gonna look like when I finally graduate and I go to college and I get a job? What's my future going to look like? Am I gonna have a good future? Am I gonna have a sad future? We can't control these things. But the thing that I wanna talk to you about today is that you don't need to control those things. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's an important season coming up. I know sometimes days get all blended together and get mixed up because of this season that we're in, but in a matter of 4 days, Easter is coming up. And that is a huge thing for those of us who call ourselves Christians. There's a lot of things we can get out of the Easter story, but there's specifically one thing that I want to look at that I think will help you give up control of things and realize that you don't have to have control of everything. If you don't know it, let me give you a quick rundown. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, no, I'm just kidding. This is actually real. A long time ago, there was a baby that was born named Jesus, and he was believed to be the Son of God. And when he was 30, he went out and did ministry, and he had these 12 people that were his closest buddies that went with him everywhere. And for 3 years straight, he ministered. He went to place to place to place to tell the good news of God and how great he was. Near the end of those 3 years, there was one of his friends who betrayed him. And because of that, he was sentenced to death on a cross, and he died. But over the course of those 3 years, when he was ministering with the disciples, he'd be saying things like the kingdom of God is near, that he's the Son of Man that has come to free people from their sins. They would see him do miracles, casting out demons, healing people supernaturally, bringing people back to life. And they thought that, wow, this guy is actually going to put an end to the rule of the world and bring the kingdom of God. But here's the thing, when he was crucified and killed and buried, they were like, what is going on? He was supposed to overthrow Caesar, he was supposed to overthrow all this, the Roman rule, and be the king. And they were totally confused. This was a point in their life where they thought there was control over what was going on. But when they saw their Savior hanging on the cross and dying, they thought they lost all control. They thought they were lost. They had no clue what was gonna happen. Now we know that after 3 days he rose again, but I want us to think about that middle day, the day between he died and he rose again. Think about how the disciples were in that day. They must have been lost. The person that they had been following for 3 years straight just died and was buried, and now they have no clue what to do. Think about that. Think about giving your life to 3 years of something, then all of a sudden finding out that it's done. In fact, you might be able to relate to that. The past years, you've just had this rhythm of school, summer, school, and then all of a sudden there's an interrupt right here in this season where you don't have school, and you don't know what to do. You don't know what's going on. There's confusion. And that's exactly how the disciples felt. They gave their life to this person, and then he was gone, and they didn't know what to do. Thankfully, on the third day, Jesus rose from the grave. And the crazy thing is This was something that has never been done before and never will be done. A person who prophets thousands of years before he was born would say he would come, he would die, and he would rise again. And then even himself would say that, the Son of Man is going to suffer, but then in 3 days he will raise up from the grave. Death is something that we have no control over. We don't know when it's going to come, and when it does happen, it happens. But Jesus conquered death. He rose up from the grave and is now sitting with God in heaven at his right hand. Jesus has control of death. The very thing that no one has control of. The very thing that at some point every single human on earth has, is, and is going to experience. They don't have control of it, but Jesus does. And when Jesus went to see his disciples after they were totally lost, he saw them and they were astonished. He even says, did you not listen to me? Did you guys not hear me say that this was going to happen and that I was going to come back again? And here's something that I want us to look at that he specifically says to his disciples. In Matthew chapter 28, verse 18, it says this, "Then Jesus came to them and said, 'All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me.'" Think about that. All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to Jesus. That thing that you don't have control over, that you are worried about, that thing that you have absolute no control over, and you can't decide the outcome, no matter what comes your way, no matter what you are going through, no matter what situations end up coming against you in your life that you have no control over, we can trust that God has complete control over it. If Jesus has control over his own death, the thing that is absolutely final that none of us can control, how much more can he help you in the situation that you can't control? How much more does he know about that situation that you are going through and can help you through it? Because of Jesus' death and resurrection, we can have security in knowing that there is nothing that can come against us. There is nothing that can separate us from God, and there is nothing that God cannot help us through. That's what I want you to know today, that God loves you, that he cares about you, and you don't have to have control over those things. In fact, I want to encourage you to not try to have control over those things. And it's so hard. I know. There's things in my life that I wish I had control over. At the end of the day, even though all these things are up against me, even though I'm encountering all these things, even though there's all these situations that might come my way, I can have peace and be still and know that God is great, that he is good, and he has control over everything in my life. And those things that come against me are gonna work out for the good. It even says that in the Bible in Romans 8:28. It says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him." No matter what comes against you, God is gonna work it out for your good. Now let's just process that for a moment, if we can. There is a God who conquered and defeated death, and is so great and is so mighty and is so above us. And yet he loves us so much that no matter what comes against us, he is going to work out for the good of us. So I want to encourage you with that today. Give up control. I know it's hard, but give up control. When things come up in your life that you absolutely have no control over and you're trying to fill it with different things, say, you know what? I'm not going to. And choose to give your life to the one who defeated death itself, to the one who has authority over everything in heaven and on earth, to the one that no matter what comes against you is going to love you and care for you and watch out for you. As you go today, I want you to think about this. How different would your life look if you chose to give up control to the one who loves you?
Ron, bro, you're on a streak. That was so good.
Man, it's so encouraging.
Yeah.
This and Christmas are obviously the big things in Christianity. It's just,
It is.
this season, for those of you who call yourselves Christian, and even those of you who don't, like this season for us as Christians is one that's just so encouraging.
It is.
One that reminds us that, you know what, we're secure.
Yeah,
And
we are.
there's a God
We are.
who genuinely loves us and
That's
cares
right.
about us so deeply,
That's
right?
right.
So.
That's right. That's right. And we want to invite you, if you don't have like a church home, to watch our church
Yeah.
online here on YouTube or on Facebook. We have services at 9:15, 11:15, 3, 5, and 9. So join in and invite some friends to watch. We have a pretty epic experience planned for you guys, and it's going to be awesome. All right, Ron, you know what time it is.
I thought we dodged it!
Dad Joke Wednesday! Okay, Ron, here we go. Why does Antarctica not have the coronavirus?
Because it's cold.
Nope, because it's isolated.
Ice.
Oh.
That's good. Anyways, in light of the corona season, I it's not as funny, but just some light humor.
Light humor. You need humor to get you
You
through
need some
things. Right?
humor just to get you through things.
My parents actually watch these videos.
Oh, really?
And so last
Awesome.
week, my dad thought I dodged the question of something embarrassing
Yeah, Ron.
in my childhood. Well, I didn't mean to. I couldn't think of
Can
anything.
you tell us? Can you like be a little bit vulnerable
So,
right now?
Here's the thing. I couldn't think of anything, but I called my dad the other day, and he told me of many things that were embarrassing that I did when I was a
Wow. Okay,
child.
Ron.
So,
Tell us.
I'll tell you one stupid thing that I did when I was a kid, okay?
Okay.
So, picture with me my living room, right? Everyone close your eyes, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Okay. Picture you. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to close your eyes.
I am so churched. Close your eyes, okay?
So picture with me. We're in the living room, okay? In the corner of the living room, there's a chair, like a nice, I don't know, chair. And it's not like your dinner chair. It's like a nice, not like a lazy boy, but
Yeah,
it's
sure,
a good chair.
Yeah.
So picture young Ron, little ginger, just sitting there watching TV,
Oh.
eating snacks, right? I'm just eating snacks, and I got wrappers, right? So what do you do with the wrappers when you are done eating?
You throw them out
Yes,
in the trash.
that's what you think you would do.
Okay.
But you know what young Ron did?
What did young Ron do?
He took the wrapper and threw it behind the chair.
Oh my god.
Like there's this little spot behind the chair where I just threw the wrapper.
And I bet there's a pile of.
I definitely accumulated a huge pile of wrappers.
Oh my gosh.
It was
It's crazy.
horrible. I need a haircut badly, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long this is gonna go without me being able to see
Yeah.
a hair person, and I don't really want to have other people cut my hair besides the barber that I go to.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking,
Who's your barber?
his name is Drake.
Big Drake?
Big Drake.
Tobias?
Tobias.
Tobias. Okay. Props to Drake Tobias.
You rock, Drake.
Love you, bro.
Drake the barber.
Maybe we should have Drake do your hair here.
I was just gonna say I can shave it all off. Like I'm talking like
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
But
Do
I
it.
don't want to just do it.
No?
I want to make them work for it.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like if we can get 100 subscribers.
If we can get 100 subscribers and 100 likes on this video, we will shave your head.
We will shave my head. You know, yeah, let's give them 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
How about this? Instead of like his normal bald, let's do a mohawk. Yeah, man. My man from Detroit's gonna rock out.
We'll do it.
A mohawk.
100 subscribers.
We will do a mohawk for Rock.
Yep, 100 subscribers, 100 likes on this video, and
It'll
we
be a
will.
mohawk.
It'll be a mohawk.
Yeah. I
2
would love
weeks.
to see that.
2 weeks. I'll do it. I'll do it.
It will do it. If we can get 500 subscribers, I will dye my hair blonde. You heard it from me right here. We get 500 subscribers, I will dye my hair blonde.
Mohawk? I'm just kidding.
No, but I will dye my hair a nice like caramel blonde.
You would be. You'd be hot, Bradford.
It's in. It's in.
You'd
So
be
it's
hot.
on the table. Mohawk, blonde. We're getting it.
We'll do it.
Cool. It's on.
It's on.
We love you guys. Happy Easter. Hope you are encouraged to not fear and to trust in Jesus, for He's good. He loves you. He loves you a lot.
Don't forget, like, subscribe, share this.
Smash that like button.
Bam! Smash that like button. Anyway, thanks guys. We'll
Love you
see
guys.
you next week.
Have a great week.
See you in small groups
See
in
you.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Starting now.